And I hate to see you already lost, but surely I'll be dealing with a boss. I know exactly what it is that she wants. She want a boss, wants it all, and she don't even care the cost. She want a boss. I don't think you heard me now. I don't think you heard me now. Wonder why she never calls. It's because she want a boss. Girl, the way I put it on you, got you wanting more. I can take you places that you've never been before. If you want it, you know I got it. I'm a boss and I'm looking for the boss chick. Yeah, I know what you need. And girl, you need me. She want a boss. I know exactly what it is that she wants. She want a boss. Wants it all and she don't even care the cost. She want a boss. I don't think you heard me now. I don't think you heard me now.
See, look at that. I realized somebody sent me a message this morning saying you have Sora so and so on, Sora Leaks on this morning. I was like, what? Welcome, Miss Dawn Leaks. It is very nice to meet you. Let me tell people who you are. You're the new executive director of Collab. Is it Collab Connecticut or just Collab?
It's just collab.
Collab. And so Caroline was the executive director. She's gonna move into other roles in the organization. But here you are. And I was reading your bio because she was kind enough to send me your bio, and I'm so. Am I muting? Am I on, Harry? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Harry. But you are a seasoned entrepreneurial and nonprofit leader. You are a certified coach. You were the CEO of Lioness for the Female Entrepreneur, which is an online digital media company. And you grew that, you increased their revenue by 200%. I know they hated to see you go. Uh, and before that, you were the director of communication of the American Red Cross of Massachusetts. You served as an entrepreneur in residence at the UMass Valley Venture Mentor Collegiate Summer Venture Program and visiting assistant professor of social entrepreneurship at Hampshire College. So you come with a lot of skills. So tell us, Miss Dawn Leaks, why did you say yes to this job?
Okay, well,
And welcome.
first, thank you for having me on. I'm so excited to be here. Well, the reason I even applied for this job, one, the organization looked amazing just on paper before I started doing research. The fact that they were prioritizing Black and Brown and female and women entrepreneurs was really important to me. Just my own experience as a Black woman entrepreneur, I understand deeply some of the barriers, the bias, some of the things we come up against. And so when I saw an organization that was like, no, we want to help this particular population. And from what I could see, give actual, real actionable help. Which is a thing because, out here in startup land, there's a lot of people who are, a lot of programs who are saying we're hoping, but then when you dig in a little bit further, what is the specific help that actually helped to move a business forward, help that business become profitable, help that business access resources. And so when I looked at Collab and I said, wow, 87% of the people that go through their programs are still in business. That's huge. The organization just seemed very serious, like they were actually providing help to folks. And I knew I wanted to be a part of that.
So talk to me about why is it necessary to sort of focus or turn attention to Black and brown women entrepreneurs? Like, because, I get a lot of this pushback about, well, why do they need help? Why do they need extra? Why? And, it's daunting to me to keep having to sort of have these conversations with folks about, because they don't come with a historical context or a historical understanding of why.
Right.
In your own words, tell the why.
Yeah, well, first, I just want to share with anybody that's listening, it's not extra. We're not trying to give anything extra to Black and brown and women entrepreneurs. We're trying to level the playing field. Let's get us up to the starting line. We're starting behind the 8 ball. Just systemic, institutionalized racism, biases, all these things, they impact not just, they impact every sector, and they definitely impact entrepreneurship. So I think the statistic is less than, Black women entrepreneurs receive less than 2% of venture capital funding.
Wow.
And that number's been consistent over the past several years. And so what we're trying to do is just have some equity here. Can we get a share? We're throwing millions and millions of dollars at our counterparts, for their startups, their ideas. And really what we're doing is we're betting on people. We know that 9 out of 10 venture capitalists know that 9 out of 10 of their investments are going to fail. That's why they're looking for the next Twitter, that unicorn that's going to account for those 9 losses. They can have one win that'll cover those 9 losses plus some.
And they don't care about throwing that money away, right? Like they
right.
prepare to throw that money away.
They prepare. And so if you know you're going to throw that money away, why can't you throw it away on us too? And not to say, I'm not saying that you're throwing your investment away when you invest with us, but even I was just speaking with a venture capitalist the other day, and he mentioned that he gets higher returns on his investments from Black and brown entrepreneurs and women. And actually, Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank said the same thing. That's why he invests consistently in women-owned businesses. And so when you
do they say that because their experiences that these, for us, we work hard, not so much harder, but we have a resiliency that sort of is unquantifiable in terms of, we really want this to work. We put our blood, sweat, and tears in this, like, because there's no plan B or plan C or plan D why is that true?
Honestly, I don't know why. I could speculate that, many of us have been kind of conditioned by our parents and just society that we have to work a little bit harder. We have to have our I's dotted and our T's crossed. We have to prepare. And so it could be that we're bringing that level of excellence, into our businesses, and that level of thoughtfulness and planning. We're not frivolous because we know this may be our only shot, so we're not going to, and we definitely are not going to take an investment lightly. If we take someone else's money, we are going to feel compelled to make sure they get it back and then some. And so those aren't official statistics. That's just my own opinion on that matter.
So when you come and you're here already working, or have you started?
I'm here.
Okay. So do you come with your own sort of sense of goals and objectives? Like, how do you build upon what exists?
Yeah, I try to really be open-minded. You don't want to come in with your own goals, because I mean, I have goals that I want to grow the organization. That's the broad goal. I want to grow the organization. I want us to be able to serve even more entrepreneurs and make even deeper impact. But the first thing that I need to do is to come in and listen, listen to the staff, listen to our donors, listen to our partners, and listen to community members, and really understand all the dynamics of where we are as an organization, and then really start to shape where we need to go and how we're going to get there. So really I think the first probably month I'm here is really just about listening to everybody and understanding what the needs are in the community and how we can best serve those needs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so we are now understanding that entrepreneurs are pretty much the backbone of America, right? Like, I don't think before the pandemic, I don't think we really understood or paid attention to the level of entrepreneurship and opportunities that arose up out of the pandemic for people, because people were like, my job ended and now I have to do something. And so I always was good at this, or I always dreamed about this, and here's the opportunity. Talk a little bit about opportunities for entrepreneurs to maybe chase a dream, or not sure that they should, it seems like a dream, but maybe it could become something. Do you know what I mean? I know you talk to people like that all the time. Like, I have this idea. I'm not sure. I've talked to people, they said it was crazy. How do you get them from dream to doing something?
Yeah. I think that can come about in a few different ways. And you're absolutely right. The pandemic, while it was really tough on many of us, it really showed some gaps, some places where a new product or a new service might be really useful. And some people took advantage of that and really started business and are having success. One of the things I tell people, especially if they're doing something like, say they love to cook, they're making dinners, or they love to make jewelry, and so they're making jewelry. They already are making that product that they think, I can make a business out of it. I always say, hey, go see if somebody will pay you for it. I mean, just at the base level, this is before we start talking business plan, business model, canvas, anything like that. Instead of just gifting the earrings to your friend, see if they'll pay you and see how much they'll pay you. And, and then that'll start to help you understand if there's a market for what you have. And I think that's the easiest kind of low pressure way, even though it can feel like pressure sometimes to try to sell someone something, but just to find out if you have something that's worth building on.
Mm-hmm. I get the sense sometimes that entrepreneurs feel very lonely, like they feel like no one understands what they're up against. And so how do you build support around entrepreneurs who are getting started and may feel, oh God, I've been at this a long time, or it's not happening as fast as I want, or, who else out here, who can I talk to about, what is happening?
Right. That's one of the great things about Collab, because you're not just getting the business education. You're not just getting the program that's giving you the knowledge and the skills to move your business forward, but you're also tapping into a community and a network, a community of like-minded people, of entrepreneurs. They kind of know what you're going through, that you can bounce ideas off, and you can have real talk. Because I think, sometimes when you're trying to build a business, it's important. You feel like you always have to put your best foot forward. You always have to talk about how great things are. And to be perfectly honest, sometimes things are not great. Sometimes you're literally sitting there trying to figure out where's my next meal coming from? Can I cover my rent this month? And you need to be able to have those real discussions with people. And so that's what's so great about stepping into a community of entrepreneurs like Collab, because you have the support there too. It's not just about the business support, but the personal support, because entrepreneurship can be a lonely place. And if people haven't gone through it themselves, they don't really understand it. And so really being able to connect in with people that they either are where you are, they've been where you are, it's like worth its weight in gold.
Mm-hmm. And so talk to me a little bit about the entrepreneurs who've been doing this for quite some time. Like they're not new. they're seasoned. They've got the business plan, they've got all the things. What sort of support is for them? Like how do you court them? How do you bring them? How do you provide for them? Or what do you provide for them?
Well, collab is really, we like to call ourselves the front door. So it's your first, in terms of this entrepreneurship ecosystem that's kind of really building here in the New Haven area. Collab is really focused on those early staged entrepreneurs, people. You have an idea, you just like you talked about, I have an idea, I know I want to do something, I'm not sure what that is, come to collab. I'm in the very early stages of my business, I need to understand like funding, how do I get access to capital, come to collab. As far as the established entrepreneurs, and I am still learning, so I can't like recommend a program specifically, but there are other programs in New Haven that are really targeting those folks. And then also targeting people who want to have a high growth startup. So they're looking to kind of be the next Google or the next Warby Parker or something like that. There's other organizations in New Haven that really cater to that demographic.
Okay. And so, is there age requirement? Like, do you work with young people, younger people, teenagers, what have you? They got a good idea. They're like, I have this idea. Where do I go?
We do. We've last summer we ran a program for youth, an accelerator to really help young people understand the ins and outs of entrepreneurship. And we should have more programming coming up. And so, yes, we're definitely targeting young people, really wanting to teach them specifically, how to build businesses, but then also just the entrepreneurial skills, because even if they don't start their own business and they end up going into, being employed for somebody else, employers really value entrepreneurial thinkers, people that can think outside the box, come up with new ideas. And so those are valuable skills, whether they actually start businesses or not. But, obviously we hope they will start businesses.
Okay. So walk me through. I show up on your doorstep at Collab. What happens?
Well, first, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm like, I don't know if you'd probably be calling us now with the pandemic and everything.
I know, right? So I call you up and say, hey, I'm this entrepreneur.
So we offer free office hours. So the first step, really, you can book. We would encourage you to book office hours with one of our venture program managers. They're excellent, and they'll kind of talk to you about what it is you're looking to do, what you have going, and really see if you're a good fit for the program. And then they're probably after that recommend you to apply for one of our programs. We have we have a fall accelerator, which is just that program I'm talking, a fall and spring accelerator, which you would enter into just to build your skills, understand. We do a lot of lean startup methodology. So understanding how to get the framework down for your business, fine tuning that idea, understanding your target market and all that kind of good stuff. And then we have a food business accelerator, which is specifically for people who are starting businesses around food. And so once we do the office hours with you and kind of just see what you're looking to do and how we can best help you, then we would recommend you apply for one of the programs that we offer.
I will say this, the food accelerator, I've watched that grow across this country with people baking bread and vegan things. And I mean, I've seen that take off as artistic expression and as entrepreneurial endeavor. Have you noticed that's like more and more people are sort of taking on a food, selling food?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's like I don't have the data on that, right? But I'm seeing the same trends that you're seeing, even just with television shows. But yeah, I think people have specialized diets and different dietary needs, and they're not finding the foods that they need and can eat, readily available, or maybe they're available, but they're not organic or whatever it is. And so people are figuring out, hey, I can do this for myself. I can make that thing that people need. I'm not the only one that needs it. And there's probably a market out here for what I'm selling, and people are, people are starting those businesses. And then I think, historically, in the African American community, you've always had people that had, food business as a side hustle, right. Selling dinners on the
Fish
weekend.
Fries, yes. know,
so
pies and yes.
exactly. And so I think it's something that we've always been doing. But now people are thinking, you know what, maybe this can be even bigger than something that I'm doing out of my own kitchen. Maybe I can really build a business around this. And so I think that's some of what we're seeing.
And so what advice would you, what's the number one thing you would say to somebody who is thinking about calling y'all about, becoming an entrepreneur?
The number one thing I would say is call. Just take the action. We're not sitting around thinking about what we need. You don't need anything. You need yourself and your idea. If you're thinking about calling, just call. That's the advice I would give.
That's good advice. Now, do y'all run workshops and classes? How does it, or is it really just a one-on-one kind of thing? Because some people do
No, it's
well
a
one-on-one,
well,
some people do well with a class or a group or.
yeah, so it's a mix. So we have the accelerator program. It's an 11, sometimes 12-week program where you're meeting every week with a cohort of other entrepreneurs and you're learning the business principles and you're having homework and all that kind of good stuff. Within that 12-week program, you're also having one-on-one coaching with one of our venture managers. So that's the opportunity to go deeper into some of the concepts, as well as to talk about when you talked about the struggles and all that kind of good stuff. Really talk that out with your own coach, who's there to support you, to uplift you, and to give you strategies on how to kind of overcome any obstacles you might be facing. So we try to touch on all the classroom learning as well as the one-on-one.
Okay. So you're here, and I think Harry said I was muted, so I don't know if you heard the first part.
You were muted. I did.
Yeah,
I didn't
see,
hear everything.
I thought because I was trying to tell people who you were and where you came from, that you were the CEO of Lioness for the Female Entrepreneur, an online digital media company, and
Hmm.
you helped grow their revenue by 200%, which is incredible. And I know they were like, "What? Don't leave us." And then you were director of communications at the American Red Cross of Massachusetts. Um, and
Yeah.
and we all know the good works of any American Red Cross. You've also served as entrepreneur in residence at UMass Valley Venture Mentor Collegiate Summer Venture Program, and visiting assistant professor of social entrepreneurship at Hampshire College. And so now you live in Hamden. So how long have you been here?
I have been here since May. I came Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, so all right, so you've been here a minute,
Yeah,
and I know you're a Sora.
I am. Okay.
Yes,
Hey, Sora.
yes. See, I knew you didn't hear that part because I was like, she didn't seem excited about that. And then Harry
Okay.
sent me a little message saying, "You're muted." I was like, "Oh, I'm muted? I'm never muted." But okay. So yes, yes, I'm a member of the New Haven alumni chapter. So I hear
Okay.
you have joined us as well.
I have. Yes, I have joined the New Haven Alumni chapter.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
how are you finding this part? Have you lived in Connecticut before, or like where's your home state or
Well,
home city?
yeah, well, I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay, that's just up the
So
road.
that's, yeah, not too far away. And yeah, and so I've come here. I have a couple of friends here, and then I recently got engaged, and so
Oh,
he's here.
congratulations. So
Thank you, thank you.
I was like,
And
okay,
so he's here. So
engagement
then
and a job.
yeah, got a lot going on.
But that's good, right?
It is good. And so far I'm really enjoying the area. I think, obviously once we get through a little more with the pandemic, I'll be able to experience more, but I generally like the area. A lot of lounges, cool places to eat. I'm starting a list here of food recommendations. So if you have any, please let me know.
Oh, girl, I
Trying
eat
different
everywhere.
spots.
I eat this is New Haven is my town, so I treat it like it's my personal home. I mean, it is, but I mean, I go everywhere. I eat everything. Like I eat all kinds of food, and I like all
Okay.
kinds of drinks. So,
Okay. So
so
I have
yes,
to,
so you'll So you were here during the summer, which was a little challenging because things were still sort of locked down. Because this is a great place to be in the summer as well.
Yeah, the summer concert series and everything. So yes, I've been coming up probably for the past 3 years, back and forth to Springfield here, checking things out and everything. So yeah, I've had the opportunity to do some of the concert series in the summer. Saw Morris Day on the New Haven Green,
Oh,
which was a lot of fun. Comedy shows, things of that nature. So yeah, I've definitely been trying to get to know the area as much as possible. And so now, even with this position, I'm so excited to just get even more into the community and understanding the area.
I mean, I feel like this area is ripe for entrepreneurial endeavors. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for people to create and do these kinds of, start their own businesses or whatever it might be. I mean, I feel like, do you feel that energy as well?
Definitely, I definitely do. And even just in speaking with some of Collab's partners and everything, it's true. I mean, it's not just a feeling. It's really true. This is a great time in the city of New Haven and the surrounding areas to really start a business. And there's a lot of resources and organizations out here to help you do it. Collab being one of them. But yeah, if you're thinking, I mean, there's some. I think about my father sometimes because he always had a business idea, and he kind of left this earth before he put it into action because he was still thinking. Don't spend too much time thinking. Let's, call us, contact us. Let's see what we can make a reality. Don't let the opportunity pass you by. But yes, I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity right now. It's a great time to start a business.
I think so. And so you must have the most optimistic board in the world, because all y'all are focusing on is opportunity. And with opportunity, you have to be fearless, right? You have to be sort of fearless. So talk a little bit about I think people are can be afraid, but those that push through swallow those fears and like, you know what? I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna take this chance.
Yeah, I think we all have fear. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we're doing is kind of trying to change that relationship with fear. One of the things we're trying to do at Collab is provide a safe space for you to take risks and even fail too, because no one talks about that piece, but failure is definitely a part of success. And but it's nice to have a safe space to do it and people coaching you through it and helping you say, okay, what can we learn from that failure and how can we reposition you for success the next time? And so I think, if you're afraid of failing or falling down, I'm sorry to tell you, you're gonna fall down as you're trying to, it's gonna happen. So I think changing the relationship, we view it as such it's embarrassing. Okay, we failed, it didn't work out. And there's so much negativity tied to it, as opposed to looking at it as, hey, I've got to go through this in order to get to where I'm going. There's lessons I can learn. I think they said Benjamin Franklin, like he failed like 100 times before he figured out really how to do a light bulb. And so he said, oh, he just found 99 ways not to make a light bulb. And so I think that's what we're helping people to do, to have that energy around it. Because there is an element of risk when you start a business and there is the chance of failure, and it's okay. So we just want you to think differently about it, even get excited. But hey, I learned something today. How can I fix it and move on for tomorrow? So yeah, I think we're just trying to redefine that relationship, help people understand that it's not some big scary thing to fall down a little bit or to take a risk and it didn't pay off. But yeah, you're gonna have to take those risks. So we're trying to build up not just your business skills, but also your confidence and your competence for evaluating, the failures and learning the lessons that are there.
I just think you made such an amazing point, because I think that's at the heart of people's fears that, what if this crashes and burns and how do I, but that's part of it. That's part of it. You fall 1,000 times, you get up 1,001 times.
Right.
Or, something like that. Well, let's not go 1,000, but maybe, you fall down 99 times, get back up 100, right? You keep rising.
Yeah.
But I think I like what you said about creating a safe space so that you could fail, because you will fail, but having a safe space and people around you who could walk you and talk you through the lessons learned so that you don't give up, or
Exactly.
shelve the product or the process.
Right.
I think that's critical.
It is. And it's interesting because I mean, right now there's kind of this hustle culture that's happening, on
Mm,
online and everything. It's like rise and grind and then there's also this element of move in silence. Hey, don't tell anybody what you're doing. In reality, in order to build your business, you have to tell people what you're doing. You have to put yourself out there. You have to sell your product. You have to find customers. And it can be you can feel very exposed. I just know that from my own entrepreneurial journey. You're out there, and you're vulnerable and you need the supports. And so you can't get the support if you're not telling people what you're doing. You know what I mean? And so I know there's a fear of people stealing your ideas and everything, but I'll just share with folks, somebody shared this with me a long time ago and she was 100% right. She said, most people are too lazy to really steal your idea. They have to go in and put that work in. And so tell people what you're doing, because when you tell people what you're doing, that's when the resources show up. That's when the help and support shows up. And don't really worry about, if anybody's trying to steal your idea or anything like that. I think, putting yourself out there is hard. And it is, as I said, it can be make you very vulnerable, but stepping into a community like Collab where you have those supports can make all the difference for you. So I'm shamelessly plugging Collab. If you're out there thinking about it, give us a call because we can help you with all of that.
Yes, yes. And so I know you got to go, but before I let you go, so how do you take care of you as an entrepreneur, or how do you talk to other people about, you have to take care of yourself, because I think you hit it on the nose, this rise and grind culture, don't sleep is for the weak and all that craziness, right? And people, you have to be up and hitting it, like, that's detrimental to your health.
It is. And I think, when we were running Lioness, which was all about helping female entrepreneurs launch and grow high growth startups. My business partner and I, we were all on that rise and grind. We were working from, early in the morning, sometimes be like 3 a.m. still working. And it's not sustainable. We were getting really burned out. And then when we decided to take a look at what we were doing, because we're working all the time. We didn't feel necessarily this forward movement in the business at that time. But when we just assessed, what are we spending our time on? We put a cutoff time. We have to be out of here by like 7 p.m. Nobody can stay later than 7. And we have to be very targeted about the work that we're doing. And once we did that, our business started moving forward and we weren't even working at the same level. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people, you're rising and you're grinding, but are you being intentional and strategic about the work that you're doing? So when we got really intentional about what work we were doing and how that work connected to the mission and connected to moving the business forward and connected to generating revenue, it changed everything. So we started taking time for ourselves in the evening, self-care. I like yoga and I like massages. So
I like yoga people. I hate yoga.
And so I think, we really started integrating, just being intentional about self-care. And I think that's the piece, because I think self-care has also become like a buzzword. It's necessary, but people don't necessarily know how to do it. I'm also an R&B line dancer. I really enjoy my line dancing. So that's how I take
you're in the right town there, because New Haven is a line dancing town.
I know. That's why I'm so excited to be here too. So that's another way that I really stress, but it's important to be intentional about, what work you're doing. when you're doing that work, and then also taking care of yourself. So I think you don't have to work yourself 24 hours a day. Just pick the most important activities and, prioritize the ones that are going to give you the most return. And then that frees up some time for you to actually enjoy your life and do some self-care.
Mm. Well, I so enjoyed this conversation, Dawn. I'm so glad I got to meet you.
Me
I look
too.
forward to serving with you in our chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority
Yes.
here in New Haven. So welcome.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we could grab cocktails or dinner at some point, as we
I would love that.
move through and really catch up and chat. But welcome to the Greater New Haven area, and I can't wait to see what all the good work that Collab continues to do. So feel free to come back anytime you want.
Thank you. And I'm going to take you up on that. And I'm going to take you up on those drinks.
Yes, girl. Yes. And so have a good day. Say hi to Caroline, and because I love her. and so and all the folks over there at Collab. So thank you so much for joining me this morning.
All right, thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Yes, you too. I'll see you soon. Okay, Harry, play us out. Is Coral still hanging in?
No, Coral is done.
All right.
So,
okay, well, we're out. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, so Coral's going to be doing your show Thursday.
Okay. Why? Where you going?
No, I'm going to be here, but
Oh, you mean you're gonna let her drive the plane without you're gonna let her drive the plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'll be in that seat over there.
Okay.
So
tomorrow I got the folks on the gun violence study coming on tomorrow, 10:15. So I'll send you that information. And then Thursday we have 40 and under 40, the great Schubert director over there, Anthony McDonald's, coming on finally as my guest on Wednesday. So that should be a lot of fun. He does a great President Obama impersonation. So
right.
he's sweet. All right, so we're out of here, people. Word on the street tomorrow morning. God knows where they'll be, but we tune in so you can see, just like I'm going to see where they at. Thanks, Harry.
All right, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
the morning light. Wheels keep spinning, wheels keep spinning, wheels keep spinning to the morning light. Wheels keep spinning, wheels keep spinning, wheels keep spinning to the morning light. Wheels keep spinning, wheels keep spinning, wheels keep spinning to the morning light.
Was promised to another, we didn't care. Instead we tried to keep our feelings strong, based on the love we knew was wrong, but we didn't dare to say goodbye. So now my life has changed so much from long ago, and I don't know who you are, though you appear to be my star. And now you suffer the decision that you made, when my role has been played, and our story starts to fade. Sad to know that you never loved me. Sad to know you weren't who I thought you'd be, and the promise made you couldn't keep. Realizing that you could never really be true, still I took a chance with my heart. My friends say it's better for us not to be together. Why do I rue the day that you died in my heart? So now you've got them lying in the bed I made, but it wasn't a fair trade. With my emotions you played. So now all the selfish things that you do will come rushing back to you. And what are you gonna do? Sad to know that you never loved me. Sad to know weren't who I thought you'd be, and the promise made you couldn't keep. Oh.
Hey y'all, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy, and you're listening to 103.5 FM WNHH.
The way I'm touching on you, oh yeah. Put your body on me. My hands are on your shoulder. Let's finish what we started. I
can't wait to touch your body. I can't wait to touch your body. And we ain't gotta tell nobody. I can't wait to touch your body. Kiss me and make me believe that this moment we're in, it ain't just pretend that we're making love. Pretend that we're making love. Yeah. Started with a whisper in the ear. How the hell we end up on the stairs? Now I got you biting your lip. I'm gripping on your hip while you're telling me to beat it up. Move fast, bend over backwards. I'm your daddy, I'm your pastor. From the bed, now we wet up in the shower. She need about a second, I'ma take about an hour. I'm touching on you, oh yeah. Put your body on me. My hands are on your shorty. Let's finish what we started. I can't wait to touch your body. I can't wait to touch your body. And we ain't gotta tell nobody. I can't wait to touch your body.
Roll a couple L's, light it up, baby, blaze up. Body so good, you can have my first one. I can take you down tonight. Hold you to the morning light. Go another round, this is round 3. Couple more blows, knock you out around 3. Love how you sleep. Spin around, arch your back for me. Storm is coming around, let it rain on me. Moaning loud, say I'm daddy. Exhale now, lie with me. Feel me go deep, ooh, ah. Both our bodies, ooh, side. Love the Kama Sutra.
Well, hello from New Haven, Connecticut. I'm Cliff Fernald, and this is Roots World Radio. That was Cimarron from Colombia, and their music from the plains of the Orinoco River that gave the album its name, Orinoco. And this begins the 286th edition of Roots World Radio. I'm Cliff Fernald, the editor of Roots World magazine, and I'm glad you could join me today to listen to the world. Today, we're going to do very long sets with very little talking, just give you a whole lot of music. You can find a playlist for today's show at www.rootsworld.org so you can follow along or just sit back and enjoy the music. We're going to start with another one from Cimarron and some music from Colombia for harp, etc. And we'll follow that up with 2 tracks from our Music of the Month selection for June from Rochelle Andreoli and Rocco Negro from their album Maltempo. But first, Cimarron.
Señores, yo soy llanera. Yo soy llanera auténtica de verdad. Mujer de soga y caballo. De soga y caballo, de pelo de guama y masca. Que siempre le canta al llano sus coplas improvisadas, que lleva siempre su música donde quiera que va. Sin requiebres en la voz, anda en la voz, tampoco sin disfrazar, sin importarle un comino a quien pueda disgustar. Soy auténtica llanera, cual corral en madrugada. Soy la tonada del llano, que cantan para ordeñar. Cuando revienta la espuma, anda la espuma en totuma pa' tomar. Soy corral en vaquería, soy novillo pa' herrar. Soy brío de caballo bueno que tienen para colía. Y soy pitio del padrote para calmar la maná. Yo soy la que zapatea debajo de una enramada. Y me sonríen los parejos cuando me van a sacar. Soy agua de los jagüeyes, luna para enamorar. Soy lo amargo del tabaco y cascabel enrollar. Soy el bramar del becerro, sí, del becerro cuando lo van a encerrar. También sudor de las bestias que vienen de Sabanía. Mi canto tiene el olor a palma recién floreada, a flores de araguaney, huele a tierra llovizna, a manirote maduro, a manirote y a mango para chupar. Tiene el olor del chimo al meterse una bola, a café recién colado y a canoa para que sea. A mastranto sabanero huele al baja camorá, huele a silla chocontana cuando la van a estrenar. A sabana en entras de agua, a rosa para sembrar. A cunde amor madurito, a cunde amor a laguna y a caña. Y en mi canto lo rebelde el cariño y la humildad. Y la amistad campesina, sí, campesina de los que nacen allá. Esta auténtica llanera aquí le vino a dejar.
¡Qué pena! Ay, qué pena. Che pena che lo tempo passa e ancora me dà pena. Che pena che lo tempo passa e ancora me dà pena. E se poi tra sé non ci trova pace, me tira, me lassa, me bacia e poi me strazza. Sento una voce che grida forte e mi dice c'ha fare, aspetta la sorte. Se cerchi ragioni vattene a cogliere quando lo senti che non te puoi muovere. Me da pena, che pena che lo tempo passa e ancora me da pena. E viaggia se blocca e poi a qua me tocca e l'anima la vide ma poi non ci crede. Sento una voce che grida forte e mi dice c'ha fare, aspetta la sorte. Se cerchi ragioni vattene a cogliere quando lo senti che non te puoi muovere.
voce che grida forte mi dice c'è a fare, aspetta la sorte, se cerchi ragioni vattene a cogliere, quando lo senti che non te puoi muovere. Pazienza, ai, pazienza, pazienza che lo tempo passa e non mi dà pazienza, pazienza che sto tempo passa e non mi dà pazienza, pazienza che lo tempo passa e non mi dà pazienza, pazienza che sto tempo passa e non mi dà pazienza. Hai visto mai tramonti a riposare? Te voti un attimo e l'hai perso de guardare. Hai inteso mai la luna e tace dice? Itaca decide, Maro felice. Sussurra chiano, parole non capisco. Me penso che sta attorno un reto e invece crisco. E Dio me guarda senza occhi, e Dio me guarda senza occhi. T'hai chiesto mai se te poti fermare, se li pensieri lasci a lievitare, chiudendo l'occhi di me, tu stai tra un attimo, sai puro a tu stappai. Paro delle tue parole e me sto frisco. Me penso che sta attorno un reto e invece crisco. E Dio me guarda senza occhi, e io te guardo tra l'occhi. E Dio me guarda senza occhi, e io te guardo tra l'occhi. Tu manna te ci tieni sto momento, lo tieni sto momento, lo tieni sto momento.
shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. Shut killing my guy and cross when I'm sad, just sat the watch and y'all they shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. San garage on hagen, you gunnig in gomen, so good again, man, and off to low, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. That Hanik and Tank and Gunnig is saying, but come on and Mike, a hog get you, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. I feel much younger than you can three on the peeps, but we haven't called on us. Shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. That Hanik decide going at the bark and Gunnig and Dal and North they go. Shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. Back when you from Bonn, and Tasha Kabia decided on a sky, she called it a shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. Bobby can hang as fast as you ounce, Bonnie and Glenn can call Gaya, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, shut killing maroon, you hook 'em home. Not running away, say have it and leave a bishop and rent. There's called our dives and shallow as bring off home at Miriam. Got fight, you can give us a hold there. Got less, got can bang, they're coming away. So clap, but let's tank a folk or love. Shut in my room, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain. Shut in my room, you hook 'em home. Could you follow what it fake and broke? So when you're so sing oh hello. Some of them Clock the comments go cutting could follow she's kill and jay. But then you can get it, the she's a good jet, got big and look at it, but all the dish fed and I can hear so yeah, but can live a kind of fear and more than you. Just when you can do the hike in a hood, the rod for homes and all get it. She did my room, you hook 'em home. She shot and the look saw the stain, she did my room, you hook 'em home. Le peep gestraat en nog is low. Say it among the skies and rank and guided and down and off the way. Can you to sing I had a train and clear and klein as post that I get my room, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, she get my room, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, she get my room, you hook 'em home. She shot the look, saw the stain, she get my room, you hook 'em home.
Ligger på min soffa och känner bara otäcka känslor. Livsle och trött på alla människor. Ligger på min soffa och känner mig sur. Ingen som förstår mig, jag är ensam i min sorg. Alla andra människor sjunger mest i dur. Livsle och trött på alla människor. Ligger här i diket och känner mig ful.
New Kings, First Revelation, 365 South. Cry.
84. 84.
New money, I'm trying to build with you. Don't get introduced to the steal. This is loyalty over everything. Cross